It's officially spring planting. And you know what that means. First, you must shop. So I thought it would be fun today to show you all my pretties that I have bought to add to my garden, and also that it would be appropriate to wear this shirt. All I need is this plant and that other plant and those plants over there. So let me show you what I have acquired. I have been shopping, how many days? Well, we started at the farmer's market and picked up some pre-orders, not last Saturday, the week before. And then, we did 2 days in a row, while we were out and about in town. We would have done a third day, but it was pouring buckets of rain. So we sat outside a plant nursery for about 20 minutes, hoping it would pass, and it didn't. And then we just gave up and came on home. And then we had an outing with himself, and we bought a whole bunch more. I will say, I did try to stick to my list, my what I thought I needed most in my garden. Not a ton of annuals. Perennials, ground covers are my big things for this year. So, and shrubs, I want long-term things that will add to my garden, not for more than a season. So let me show you what I got. First up, my two biggest additions. I had planted a magnolia in front of the house, and it decided it didn't want to live here. And then we replaced it with a different variety that has more of a light limey green leaf. But I still wanted one of the traditional, big, huge ones with the glossy green leaves. And so the variety I like is called D.D. Blanchard. That's the one I had before, that chose to pursue other options, why you would want to leave my garden, I do not know, but okay. Yeah. But I found this at Sutherland's for half price. They were having a sale. So I think this was like $86 to start with, and I got it for $44. So to be determined where we're putting this. But yeah, I got a couple ideas. We'll keep you posted on that. And then also for the back border, which the back border, one end is shady, one end is sunny. But I got that entire back border from end to end weeded this weekend. I had some done, but completely, I've done it all. It's all the way through has had a good weeding. We'll just continue to work through and continue to keep the weeds down. And then once we get everything planted out there, we'll get it mulched. But yeah, so we got that done. We also got what we call the goose play park, because the previous owners left a swing set and the geese like to hang out on it. So there you go. So I have a shady corner back there, and I've been looking for something big, a statement piece for there. And I found this, which I have a couple of little bitty ones that I got and potted up for winter interest, but I found this at my local nursery. This is April Tryst Camellia. Now, we are not known for growing camellias in Oklahoma, but this is a more hardier one. It is USDA Zone 6, so it is cold hardy to -10. So I think it will do fine. It needs shade to partial sun. I've got a spot for that. But look at it. It's big and beautiful. Can we pan down here and see? Look at it. It's so pretty. And it's evergreen. So yeah, so excited for those two. And then we have a whole bunch of little things. So starting with ground covers, I found another ajuga I like. This variety is called Mahogany, and I really like the dark leaf ones. I just think they're really cool. And supposedly it has blue flowers. So we've got that for more ground cover. We got that flat at Baumgars. So we got that there. And then also at Baumgars, I got this. It's overcast today. So the sun keeps popping out. So hopefully we'll get our video done before it gets too terribly bright. Also, if when my camera pans around, you see some chaos here on the patio, it is chaos. Not only I have all my plants stacked and ready to go, I've got my citrus that need to be arranged out here and whatnot. We've also got a really big project happening out here, but we'll talk about that another day. So we got these at Baumgart. This is just your old-fashioned moss rose. Portulaca. I've always called it Portulaca, but lately I've been hearing people say Portulaca, so I don't know. Portulaca. Fun fact, anytime himself doesn't know what a plant is, he just points at it and goes, you know, that Portulaca. So everything's Portulaca. But I like the hot pink. I usually get the mixed, but yeah, we like the hot pink. Maybe because it was matching our nails and our glasses. But we use this in some containers down by the pond because it's very drought tolerant. So I can just leave it down there and it loves the sun. And when I remember to go and water it, or I will like set it in the pond and let it water for a minute. So yeah, we got a flat of that to use. If we have any extra, we will put it somewhere else. And these we picked up at Tractor Supply. These are celogias. I have some in the garden and they do tend to kind of reseed, but these are really pretty specimens. So we got these, and also they were a great deal at $3.99 for a 6-pack. So we got those. And then we also got this. I was looking for a purple petunia, just a deep, dark purpley petunia. Ooh, love that. And I was looking for a big pot and I didn't find any, but I found these. This is called Dreams Midnight. These also came from Tractor Supply, $3.99. I got 3 6-packs, so I will just pack my huge hanging basket full of these and they will just fill in. And also they smell wonderful. They'll be by my kitchen window and the hummingbird feeder. So there's that. And this is part of my pickup from the farmer's market. I have some forget-me-nots and some calendula. We not sure where we're tucking those in, but those were grown here locally. And then also, whilst I got a 4-pack of what do we call these? What do we call these? Lysianthus. Lysianthus, that's what we call these. I don't know what colors. It was a variety pack, but Lysianthus are notoriously hard to get going from seed. So I have seed. We try every year, but just in case, we bought some. So we have these 2 mints that we bought for the back border to just kind of fill in. I know mints can be invasive, but how I deal with that is I plant them, and then like in the herb bed, if they start getting too close to other herbs, or if they're just taking over a spot, then I just pull them out and make mint syrup for my iced tea. This one is an apple mint. I've not had that one. It smells really good. I don't know that I would use that in tea, but we would find something to use that in. I think that's a cocktail herb. That sounds like a cocktail herb. And then this one is mojito mint. So if You know, if it gets to growing too much, we make mojitos. But both of these are not quite as cold tolerant as your old-fashioned spearmint and peppermint and whatnot. So we will, you know, they're not gonna go too crazy. But as I say, if they do, rip them out, make cocktails. And this one is a little succulent. It is called Mezzo Trailing Red. I have put this the last couple of years in my planter that's by my garage because it's a succulent and it doesn't need a ton of water, and it makes just a little red flower. But these will just fill in and spill over. These I actually got at a little shop in Tulsa that it's a pottery shop. It had all sorts of cool pottery, but they also had plants in the background. So yeah, was really happy to find those. Just a cool plant. I see them a lot of this is one of those things you're like looking for something and you finally find it. And then after you find it, you see it everywhere. But yeah, these were all good specimens. So, and plus I got to browse the cool pottery shop we might have to go back there sometime. So that's that. And then what else do we have? A delphinium. Now I love delphiniums, but, they're a classic English, something you see in an English garden. They don't always do well in Oklahoma because we get so hot in the summer, but we keep trying. We did have one last year that turned out did really well. So this one is called Summer Nights. So really pretty plant. I think I got this at Sutherland's. Sutherland's was having all their perennials and shrubs half price. So yeah, good deal there. So also while I was there, I got salvias. Yeah. I have a ton of salvia in the garden, and I just feel you can never have too much in the summer because it looks pretty. It can take the heat. So yeah. So this one is called Lake Flamingo salvia. I think it's like a pinkish red. Have to double check that. Wasn't one I was familiar with, but half price. And they were looking a little tatty in places, but they're already looking better because they've been here with me. And then this one is Mystic Spires. So you can already see it's starting to put on. It's that classic purpley blue. So those will probably go on the back border just because they're very drought tolerant. Oh, and there is some sort of critter on this one. I think he comes in peace. We'll leave him be. And where did I get these came from, so there a local nursery had a shopping night for various garden volunteer places. So this is a hen and chicks. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like this white feathery stuff on it, but it's called powdered pastry. So I thought that sounded really cool. So nice. Another ground cover. And is it tolerant here? Yes, it is tolerant here. It is in my zone 3 to 8, so it'll come back. And then this was so pretty. This is Proven Winners Sun Credible Yellow. It is a Helianthus hybrid. What does it say about it? Fall interest, deadheading not necessary, drought tolerant. It is an annual zone hardy to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So sadly, this will not come back, but it will make some great late late season color because that was something I was looking for, was things that will bloom later in the season and also give fall color. So there's that one. And then what else do we have left? Let's see. This is left. Oh, it's got a few yellow leaves, but yeah, it needs repotted. This I bought from Proven Winners Direct. I did like a late winter order. I had meant to use it as on the patio, and I'm still going to because it's fairly cold tolerant. It's a steady as she goes gardenia. Gardenias, once again, are not usually cold tolerant to Oklahoma. There are a few that take a little more cold, and I think this was one of them. I need to double check that. But my plan for this was to put it in a pretty pot and have it setting outside for some winter interest. And then if it gets bitterly cold, we can just take it into the garage. So that one, steady as she goes gardenia. So we'll get that potted up and get a little fertilizer on that. And then a couple other things. Okay, this is actually, I think, a house plant. I looked it up once what it was. I don't remember, but it can also be used as a ground cover. It's not cold tolerant for our area, but I think I may use it as a ground cover just because I got spots. I need ground covers. And then this is a bellflower. This one came from, oh, the hardware store, Ace Hardware. They have plants. So this one is zone 3 to 9 and partial sun perennial. So we'll put that in the back border. So we have those. And this is another one that I picked up at Ace Hardware. I have never grown this, but look at it. It is a companion, Campion, Clifford Moore. Not something I've grown before, but it has variegated foliage, which is always interesting. Beautiful in woodland garden settings, mixed borders, and rock gardens, perfectly suited to informal, naturalized settings. Companion plants, asters, bee balm, and black-eyed Susan in light. 3 to 6 hours, AM or PM sun. Not sure yet quite where I'm putting this, somewhere in the back border, but it has these little delicate pink flowers. So there we go. And then the last thing I already have one snowball bush, but they had a couple more at Sutherland's. Like I say, they were half price, so I got 2 more. So I'm going to rearrange a little bit there, move one shrub and make just a mass of these snowball bushes in that area because, to be a statement. And these are just snowball bush is all it says. Snowball bush produces large clusters of white flowers in June that look like a giant snowball and a very hardy, vigorous shrub. Full sun to part sun. So, yeah. Those are pretty, and they remind me, as I've said, of Emily of Deep Valley from Maud Hart Lovelace, a childhood book that I love, teenage book that I loved. So yeah, we're going to put those in. So yeah, that's our plant haul. What else have we been up to? So we got all the back border weeded, as I said, from end to end, and the Goose Play Park, got all the grass out of the gravel there. The patio here will be the last thing because it's kind of my staging area. And as I say, we've got a big project going that some other time. Some other time. And then I've already planted my vegetable garden and, pretty much got everything in the ground. I need a few more basils that I will put out there. And then yesterday we also went and got a load of compost, mushroom compost that I will be putting. It's in the back of the truck right now. We will be putting the mushroom compost, top dressing the veggie beds and the herb beds. All the kitchen garden areas get some mushroom compost. So once we get that done, we'll give you a tour of the veggie garden, and maybe this week or next week, depends on how time goes. Yeah, so much to do in the garden. So anywho, let me show you a couple of things that are happening out in the garden, just so you can see how things are looking. And let's go see what we can see out there. It's very windy this morning. Look at all those little mini blueberries. Oh, so many blueberries. I think this year's going to be early. In my 2 seasons of blueberry farming, the earliest we've picked is May 15th. I think it's going to be earlier this year. Look at all those blueberries. Flower Friday is going to be a really hard call this week. I have 2 gorgeous things blooming. First of all, Winchester Cathedral, David Austin Rose. And the reason I have it is because Winchester Cathedral is where Jane Austen is buried. And I have actually visited that spot. And it's been blooming a couple of days, but look at those, just beautiful. I love an English rose. I have some out in the border, and they all seem to be like either failing or just dying. I think I'm going to have to keep my English roses in containers. We shall see. But yeah, look at that. So that was my first option for Flower Friday. And let me show you the next one. Also, you can tell it is incredibly windy today. So this iris, oh, I love this iris. These irises I brought from my old garden, and this one back here in particular. So when I dug them up, they were in a box. I had no idea what was what, so I've just planted them out. Look at this one. It was always, I only had one of them. So yeah, it's ended up out here in the back border. The yellow ones came from my garden club. But this one, oh my goodness, which probably came from garden club too originally. So I just put them in a box. I didn't know what was what, and I planted them out here in the back border. So I love these. And last night we were out here walking around and looking at stuff, and noticed that this one was about to bloom. And ooh, it's another one. It's just unfurling. I thought it was just a purple one, but I love that it's like right here on the edge. So we have a lot of irises in here. The daffodils are done. We will start whilst you need to leave the greenery, we'll start just trimming off the dead bits and leave the greenery to, oh my goodness, I think I might have another one back there. We shall see. It's just now opening. And there's also a lot of naked lady foliage in here. So the naked ladies, they will continue to die back. And so we let them go as long as we can until we just can't stand looking at them anymore, and then we'll trim them back. So yeah, back border, first weed is done. Now the thing with the back border is, and I think I've said this before, is I don't aim for perfection. I try, but I know it's not possible. So we do our best. And from the house, when you look back here, it looks like it's all weeded. So if I missed a weed, whatnot, we'll get to it. But yeah, look at that. So that was my other one for Flower Friday. Oh, such a hard call. 2 flowers I love the most. The final Friday thought, I have just been feeling like I am so far behind. How did I get so far behind? And then I realized that I am not behind. Spring is very, very early. I am recording this on April 14th. And on this day in my memories, I saw pictures where I had brought stuff in various years because we were having a late freeze. So this is very unusual to be this green. I mean, it really feels more like May than April to be this green and so many things just popping out. And the fur we've done himself has been mowing. Oh, it looks so gorgeous when he mows. And so all these things that I just feel like I'm so far behind, the reality is that spring is way, way ahead of schedule this year. So, that's one of the things you learn with gardening. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Every year is different. And maybe because spring has arrived so much earlier this year, maybe that will affect some of our long range plans. We don't know yet. We're still thinking on that. But the garden is supposed to be a place of rest and relaxation, not a place of craziness. But it does feel that way right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here with my tea, contemplate where I'm going to put all of those plants. I'm back here in the little back border area. I'm going to contemplate where I'm going to put all those plants. It's an overcast day today, so we can probably get a lot done. We will be changing out of our YouTube outfit to our gardening outfit that we talked about from last year, because once we get going, we want long sleeves and a hat and all the things. But yeah, we're just going to sit here and contemplate and figure out what we're going to do, where we're going to put and what we're going to do, and enjoy the day. Enjoy the morning. It's beautiful out here. And with that, happy Flower Friday. Stick around for an extra. I have one, I know, maybe 2, can't remember at this point. Happy Flower Friday, and I will see you next week. And this morning, what we're drinking, this is blueberry lavender iced tea from Republic of Tea. This is my last bit of it. I need to find some more. This is really tasty, and look at the color. It's so pretty. And it's decaf because we've had plenty of caffeine so far. Delightful symphony of succulent blueberries and delicate lavender blooms with every violet-hued sip. With its sweet and floral elegance, this refreshing tea elevates everyday moments into something special. I really should have floated some frozen blueberries in there. So anyhow, that's what we're drinking this morning. So I was setting up to do my filming, and a hummingbird flew past. Yay! The first one of the season. He stopped by and tweeted at me just to say hello. Or maybe I was in the way of the feeder. But yay, first hummingbird of the season.